You have to. Hmm? Yeah, he's fourth, right?
Yeah, you're right, Tom.
Okay. Cool.
One. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Opening Night Trivia Geek Division. No matches today. This is not a match. So the people on your screen are not teammates. They are not on a team together. This isn't a special match. This is a draft. We have been building up to this little trios mini bracket that we've established here. Basically, how trios are going to work. It's going to work like this. Our four competitors here, Joe, David, Tyler, and Robert, are going to draft two people apiece to be on their team, and that will be their trios team, a team of three players playing in a team style match. There will be three matches, two semifinals, and then a finals match. And then whoever wins that finals match, those three players will play in a number one contenders match to get to the singles championship match at the end of the year. So, how do these guys all get here? Well, Gio, David, Tyler, and Robert. Joe got here because essentially Brittany took his belt. Brittany took his belt, but now he has a chance to get right back to that singles title match. David, of course, was chosen because he's one of the only other players to play in a singles title match, as well as his history in singles and in teams. And then Robert, of course, won our little four-person mini bracket, the four-person bracket that was going to decide the fourth and final captain. And then, of course, Tyler was chosen by his teammates, Brittany Tapley, after she won the belt off of Joe. So
Yeah.
But she's not eligible.
she is not eligible because she is a champion and she is playing in that singles title match already. So without further ado, I have a list of eligible draftees in front of me. The players will go ahead and get started with the draft, how the order is going to go. Joe will go first, followed by David, followed by Robert, followed by Tyler. All right. So each competitor will get 60 seconds to choose their player. If the time runs out, they will have a player randomly assigned to them.
Watch the timer, boys.
Oh my gosh! I kind of hope this happens all the time.
So in the words of a famous cartoon lion, be prepared. All right. So without further ado, Mr. Joe Fairley, you are on the clock. You have 60 seconds to make your first pick.
I mean, knowing the format of this tournament, which is going to be one player takes round one, the other two take round two, and we split the 2, 3, and 5. You've got to look at the stats, and there's one player who has consistently been getting perfect round ones throughout the season, which is why my first pick will be Kaiser Huang.
Excellent pick from Mr. Joe Fairley. Kaiser, of course, getting a ton. He's responsible for the majority of the perfect rounds we have seen this year in non-Tool Geek singles and in teams as well. He and Anthony had a terrific run in the non-Tool Geek teams tournaments. So we can't wait to see him teaming up with Joe. So without further ado, David, 60 seconds. You are on the clock. Who is your first pick?
I don't have a speech. Kind of everybody probably knew, but I changed. Something happened. I'm gonna pick Amaru Moses.
Maru Moses making his return to the Onto Geek ring. Maru, of course, we all well know. We watched him over in the big time league, as we call it, kicked ass over there. Now he's come back home to us here at Ontol, and hopefully he can get David to a number one contenders match. All right, so we're gonna go to Robert. 60 seconds on the clock. Who is your first pick?
I hope Rue got the message because he's with Anthony right now, watching the Sixers and the Knicks, I think, battle each other. As the main person who had to earn his way here, because I had to win shit, I think about who it is who helps me win shit a lot. And the person I think of who helps me win stuff a lot would be my dummies team partner, so I'm taking Jake Meltzer.
And as a surprise to basically no one when he was still on the board when Robert picked, Jake Meltzer is now off the board. Meltzer, of course, I mean he's had a little bit of a rough go of it in singles, but we've seen what dummies can do as a team. They also had an absolute terror run in the teams tournament. So we're going to see dummies at least 2/3 of it's going to be 2/3 of Robert's team in trios. All right, moving on. Tyler, 60 seconds on the clock. Who is your first pick?
So for my first pick, was somebody that I've played against a lot this year. Someone that I've grown to really respect, even though they're newer to the league. My first pick is going to be Javi.
Javi, of course, the rookie this year. He and Cameron Holtzman played probably one of the best debut matches I've ever seen as a team. They were both firing on all cylinders. The first double perfect round ever in Onslaught Geek teams done by Young Justice. So that is a pretty good get at the end of round one. So now round one's over. A little bit of a recap. We had Kaiser picked by Joe, Maru picked by David, Meltzer picked by Robert, and Javi picked by Tyler. So now round two, we go back up to Joe. 60 seconds. Who is your third and final player on your trios team?
We're hitting the end of an era in the trivia world. And I think it's only someone a little bit of love, a little bit of respect. Someone who made it pretty far, did pretty well, and is also bowing out with another certain someone. So I'm going to bring in Caleb Coho.
Very, very nice pick. Of course, I am being 100% objective when I say that is a great pick, the best pick you could have made in this situation. The second you said end of an era, I kind of knew where you were going with this. But yes, Caleb Coho has had a very interesting career in Geek. He and Jake were the only team from 2021 to make it back in 2022 for the second team's tournament. And they were rewarded with a killer tournament run in their own right. He and Jake Marangoni. So Caleb Coho off the board in round two. We now go to David, who is your third and final player on the trios team.
I just want to have fun with this, and that is going to be great. But I'm gonna pick somebody who's somebody who's my team partner, Alex.
All right. The glorious AMC himself, Alex, has been taken off the board, of course, by his team partner. Unlimited Power Trip, maybe going out a little bit earlier than some people expected in the Geek Teams tournament. Alex, of course, famously broke off a team that had one of the best debuts of all time to team up with a fellow admin. Yes, I'm still salty about that. No, I will never let that go, and no, I will never let the two of you hear the end of it until you win a belt. Alrighty, so Robert, you've already picked Meltzer, but who is the next player on your trios team?
So David's preface was sort of going to be my preface, so now I'm just copying him. So obviously we're definitely doing stepstones here. This is going to be fun, right? We want to have fun. I'm drinking a beverage, a carbonated beverage. So I want someone who's going to enjoy that lifestyle when we come into the trios. I'm going to take my brother from the Netherlands. I'm going to take Abel de Lille.
Abel. All right, nice, sneaky good pick there at the towards the tail end of. Sorry, I cut out there. Sneaky good pick there at the tail end of the draft. Abel, of course, one half of Galacty's Nuts team that was able to make it to the semis of the team's tournament. And of course, he's a terrifying player in his own right, and he runs his own league as well. So you, from one admin writer to another, much respect for what he's done. All right, so Tyler closes out with the last pick of the draft.
Yeah, so for my last pick, I was thinking about somebody that I really respect in this league, but I haven't gotten to really interact with, haven't gotten to play with them or against them. So I figured this would be the perfect opportunity for me to be able to do that. So for my last pick, I'm going to choose Albert.
Albert Weird Arma. I was waiting to see if somebody would snatch him up there in round two. Albert's a guy who may not have had a glorious career in Auto Geek, but everywhere else he's made a name for himself. He once went to the finals of Full Metal Geek singles tournament as a 15 seed, beating guys like Amaru, Dominic Rizzi, Timberkala, legends of the game. And in fandom, he's played for multiple belts in the singles and teams division. So great get from Tyler there at the end. So that closes out the draft. Pretty quick, right? Pretty simple. But before we head out, I'm gonna I'm gonna announce the teams that have been formed. So, Team 1, captained by Joe Fairley, has Kaiser Huang and Caleb Coho. Team number 2, with David Garcia, he has Amara Moses and Alex Martinez Coronado. Team 3, with Robert Kastner, you have Jake Meltzer and Abel Deliu. And team number 4, last but not least, captained by Tyler Birch, Javi Madan and Albert Weird Arma. All I would say are pretty well balanced teams. Lots of strategic minds, lots of just pure brute force point getters there as well. So this should be a really exciting little mini bracket we have here. So these teams, you will see one of these teams, all three of those players, in a number one contenders match to get to the singles belt at the end of the year. So we cannot wait to show you guys that. I'm sure these guys can't wait to get in the green rooms with their guys and start talking strategy. But as for today, that was all from us today. So for myself, from Joe, from David, from Tyler, and from Robert, this has been Open Night Trivia Geek. Guys, as always, stay cool.